I want. He don't do nothing else with me. I just want him. And if it takes the death of me, let me die. If it takes the death of my will, let that die. If it takes the death of the way I think, let that die. If it takes the death of not getting attention, let that die. If it takes the death of people betraying me, let it happen. If it takes the death of me losing people, let it happen. If it takes me walking away, let it happen. I want him. Don't be tearing with people in this season. Because the righteous going to be righteous what? And the wicked going to be wicked what? To the pure, all things are what? You can't convince nobody in this season. It's a season of the test. Can't nobody help you when the test's going on. And you got to reap from what you sown. You put it in the earth. Sow righteousness. You can't run away from what you sowed. It got to come up. All you can do is brace yourself and say, Yahuwah, I knew it was coming because this was I sowed in the earth. Y'all hear me? And that ain't about confession, it's about repentance. But Yahuwah gonna keep rewarding us if we keep fighting for his presence. If we keep vowing to worship him. If we pay our vows every week before we come in here and when we come in here. He gonna do it. But I want to let you know it's gonna be a fight. Y'all hear me talk? It's gonna be a fight. You gotta fight with everything you got to keep your mind stable. Don't do no slick stuff in this season, man. Don't do no stuff behind the scenes. F.S. Yahuwah ain't real. He's watching us now. I'm telling y'all, he's watching us. He has higher ranking Malakim looking at everything we doing. I got to be careful. Y'all got to be careful. We got to keep each other accountable. Let's not make dumb decisions that can cost us this walk. Y'all hear me? Anybody want to speak on something they experienced when we was worshiping? Get a mic there.
While we were worshiping, we talked about the whispers. It's kept walking around. It was strong in certain areas where in the corner of somebody's mind they're having conversations. There's whispering. There's whispering in your mind, whispering in your ears. Having conversations in your mind. The other thing, the one with snakes. Okay, so in the beginning of prayer, it was a cave, and it was really dark inside. Then some snakes started coming out. There was 7 of them. I don't do snakes, so I got up dripping wet when I was down there. And because they came out of a cave, they went through a doorway, which is a dalit. So they came out from where they were under that dalit. And the 7, one went to each assembly.
Hallelujah. That is true. Keep getting more and more calls from around the seven assemblies. Things that's happening to those that didn't go under the dialect the right way. And they've been identified to what's happening with them. As a lady, make sure you cut this out, Kimmy, in the video. As a lady, to show you how Yahuwah ain't playing with people. There's a certain lady that been playing with something. Spirits of perversion ain't no joke, man. Went under that dialect, didn't take it serious. Show you how far deception can go. Reprobated mindsets and thinking. She was asleep in a dream.
Close the window. My mom asked me to close my window.
Person struggle with perversion, but played with it. Was in a dream. This being came in her dream. To have intercourse. While she was in the dream, she woke up and the being was there. And she had intercourse with the being fully in the natural. She says that the being was Yahusha. And they did some very, I say it like this, explicit things. And in her mind, she said it was Yahusha. After the act, went back to sleep, and the being showed back up in her dream with a baby. Showed her the baby and turned into the Baphomet. She still left us saying that's Yahusha. What I tell you? What I tell you? Did I tell you? And act shocked when she was reprimanded by him. What would make a person got their sanity to think that you can do that? Then I tell you, playing around. Now I done got something inside of her that's going to torment her. That will believe in illusions. They got that seed in her and she bare the child for it. Playing around. And still think she can be cowed. It's over. It's over for her. It's over. Just got this yesterday. Stuff is happening because people play. That's why I'm saying, don't play, man. Get this stuff together. It's going to be more and more stories, more and more things happen. Because people think that they don't really believe Yahuwah is real. They really think they serving Jesus Christ. Well, you can do any and everything and get forgiveness. Always. But the time of warning, that's it. That's just the love of Yahuwah that tries to warn, but it's everything done been sealed now. And it's a shame. But pray for the mind of the leaders and the mind of the people to have somebody that's close to you, that's working with you like that. You think they're good and they into stuff like that. Now she had to do something to some of that. And they think they can hide and keep secrets. But don't worry about it. I ain't gonna make you afraid of me. Who's gonna do what he gonna do? It's our job, just like that bird that tried to get through here and ran into the window and died. I drove up here and walked up here and seen the little dead bird. I just picked him up and threw him in the trash. He always said, that's going to be your job. When I cut him off, you got to put him out. He said, I'm going to show you the walk of death. When you'll see death on people and in people, and they don't even know it. It ain't going to be nothing you can do to them or do about it. Because they chose death rather than life. I set you here this day for Pesach. A blessing and a what? Life and what? But we don't think that he did that because we still think we playing. So we don't really believe the scriptures. We don't really believe we the people. We think the story ended at the end of the book. That he ain't got no people no more. That he ain't making covenants no more. That he ain't judging Israel no more. That he ain't showing his power no more. We don't write ourselves in that because we don't really believe that. That's why we can hear us talking and consider this conversation. Because we don't believe that the story, the testimony is still being written today at this time. We're going to get there. Anybody else? Pray for these people's mind. For the leaders and the righteous, because it's going to be some fearful things to see. People that's playing and insane, it's just what it is.
Hallelujah. Shabbat shalom. Just to land back off of what you said, I sent that out this morning that I just had a whole bunch of distractions in my mind trying to pray before I came to assembly. And I thought it was me, but Yahuwah was saying this is the attacks of the mind on the people. And I was hearing that the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And so I just want to confirm everything Chief was saying. But in this season, it's about you guarding and renewing your mind on Yahuwah's word. Because when you were, my wife sent me the song Zamar did, it's a new level, it's a new devil. The higher you were seeing with the righteous Malachim looking at you, there's a higher ranking demonic force that's coming to try you. And so just take heed to what the Chief is saying. Gird your mind up and put your armor on. Renew your mind daily.
Anybody else?
Me and my wife sent this out to Mikhail this morning. Y'all was in the meeting, so it'll be there, so you'll see this isn't just like me hopping on what's being said, but doing prayer this morning. I saw something that he had shown me last week, and I didn't understand it, and he showed it to me again this morning and gave me an understanding what it was. I saw a ruach standing over this building, but it was like the predator. You can see him, but you couldn't see him. Like, you know what I mean? You see the predator? Like, it was kind of like that. You can see right through him. And what he began to tell me about this ruach, that's the ruach that we've been fighting. 'Cause that ruach has been getting into people, and people have been making covenant with this ruach through their emotions, through their frustrations, and all these different things. And so that's the ruach, and it was standing outside of the building. It was like a giant. It was standing outside the building. And the first time I saw it, it looked like it was just getting up from doing something, like it was starting to stand up, like it had been down, like maybe on his knee or something. And then it stood up, but it's getting access in here because the people are bringing it in here once it's connected with them through their frustrations, through their emotions, through whatever it is that they're not letting go or not fighting. But it was in the mind. Everything he was giving me was about the mind battle that's going on with the people, and that's how it's able to enter in. And what did he say? He said it was almost like an infiltration. It's on the okay, you got it, but it was like it's like an infiltration. And the reason it was clear, even though I could see it, and it was clear because you can't. It's so hidden. It's hidden so well. You don't even know that it's attached itself to you through your frustration, through your emotions, through those different things that's going on with you. And then it come in here, and then it's manifesting, but it's also opening the door to other ruachs to enter in. And so I think, and then my wife had got something about it today as well. You want me to, about this morning? What was your prayer?
All I got this morning was, I kept hearing go forth and conquer. All I got this morning was I kept hearing go forth and conquer, and go forth and reign. And I didn't understand because I asked Yahuwah, how are we going to do that? Because we've been struggling the past couple of weeks. Like, we've been really having to push and push and push. And then so what I began to pray for was that he's saying his mallet came forth to go ahead and break the atmosphere before we even got here, before the people came in and prepare our hearts and prepare our minds. And it was a blessing when we came in. You could hear Amakayil going forth and the other leaders going forth. So the atmosphere, to me, it had already been broken even before we got in here. And as I began to pray that, then Balak saw what he saw, and it made sense to me because I was like, go forth. Like, I was just really like, how? Like, how are we going forward? We've been just pushing the past couple of weeks to fight through to get into your presence. And then when Malak saw what he saw, it dawned on me, we got to go forth and conquer that ruach. So, hallelujah.
Yeah, so I saw the Malak. I saw the same thing in the vision too, man. And my wife, she can verify. I heard like some kids crying at first, and I was in the bed after prayer, like Tuesday. And she could tell I said, I seen like this thing come toward me walking like this. And I told her, I said, man, I seen the predator last night. She didn't get it. And I was like, he showed me like a bottle cap. I don't get it. I don't know what it was. He put a bottle cap under my face, and he put a calendar of June, and all the days started flying by real quick. And I thought I seen some kind of like Hebrew kind of something. I couldn't get it. I prayed for understanding, but I couldn't get it. But whatever that thing was, man, it came out my bathroom. I was like, I was up, but I wasn't up, but I know what I saw. And it looked just like Shamaka she can verify. He walked toward me like a robot, like a transformer. But he was all clear. Sat on the side of the bed, put a bottle cap up front of my face. I didn't know what it was. Put the whole calendar up and showed the whole like June 1 through 30. And I didn't get it. I tried to grab for the calendar, and I felt a extreme pressure on my stomach. He was like punching me in the stomach. So I don't know. I mean, I seen it, so I was like.
Hallelujah. Hey, while this is coming out, I just gotta confirm something. My mom got this next door neighbor, and every time we pull up to pick up the boys, he stay in the front set of the apartments, he come outside every time. And he be looking at my wife. I already know he be like, looking at my wife and stuff like that. So, but he don't never do nothing or say nothing out of line. He just always hanging out the door, sitting on the green box. He'll come out the door. It's almost like I can pull up and say, "Come on outside, bruh," and he walk out the door. It's crazy. But my mom sent me this picture yesterday at 7:05 of him sitting on the table outside the window and listening to what her text say. It said, "This dude up front, don't he look like the Predator?" in quotation. I promise you, 7:05 yesterday. So I don't know if it's some type of confirmation, so I just wanted to bring that out, and we need to examine that thing, look it up, look up the function of it, go against it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to speak on that.
Just lurking, just sitting there lurking. I praise you, Lucia, for bringing confirmations. I know there's got to be places where we grow past having a confirmation. I'm not saying nothing wrong with confirmations, but it's a blessing when we get a confirmation. I still thank the Most High when He brings confirmations, because I'm not there yet. There's greater that I have to get to. So I'm so thankful for the mercy that He gives us confirmations, because I didn't get a chance. I was telling him I didn't get a chance to hear the message that he and his wife sent of what Yahuwah was showing them in their gifting with the seed. And so just to hear what he brought out, because I went to listen to it, and I even mentioned it to the leadership, like, y'all got a message, we need to hear what was going on so we know what Yahuwah is speaking for today. And but we didn't get a chance to. But look at how Yahuwah connects it in His will, because we came out of the meeting, but I was just saying something ain't right. Something is uneasy in here. Something has infiltrated. And that's interesting that he used the same word of the Ruach that we said, we're going to come against whatever this is. It has infiltrated. And it has been able to infiltrate because it's been given permission by your being in agreement. I really encourage you all, please, don't quench the Ruach HaKodesh. When you are being led to do what is right, or you're being led to do certain things, don't second guess it. Please follow the Ruach HaKodesh, because the more you quench it, the more you second guess it, the quieter it gets. The more empty you get. And the more empty you get of the Ruach HaKodesh, the more available you are to the carnal things of this world. The more available you are to hear the voices of Hasatan, the voice of yourself. Please, I beg you all. Ask, that's why y'all will hear me say it a lot. Please ask for a refilling every day of the Ruach HaKodesh. Please ask the Most High to fill you up so that you can be aware of it, so that you can desire it, that you can have that hunger and thirst. Because just the simple but not simple, coming into this order, and just Mikael saying, we look good in our blue and white. I like it. I praise you for it. But it means a lot. It means we are in agreement with this order and the power that we are coming into the understanding of what it means to be in it. I know, just as a wife, whatever my husband comes encounter with, whatever Yahuwah is challenging him with, I automatically expect it for myself, because we are one. Now, because we have come and we said we accept the name Kohen Ulam, we really need to ask the Most High to help us understand what that means. Because that is why your attacks have increased. Okay? Even accepting the role of I will fast and intercede for the assembly and the nation whenever that's called. Those who have been called to the fasting and the intercession. Your attacks have increased, yes? Hallelujah. Right? It's supposed to. You are doing a will of Yahuwah. it has to be met with opposition. But with your opposition, it's not supposed to beat us down into the ground where we're discouraged and we can't do what it is we are supposed to do, that we have gotten the greater one that we say lives within us, yet we have no power. We can't live like we don't have power. So me recognizing that for myself, that we're going into a whole nother place. So I'm looking, I'm watching and praying. I had an experience, like you all are explaining. I know when I'm going into something else, because that ruach always try to interrupt my rest. So I haven't had an encounter like that in a long time, and I'm not bragging on myself, but I fight for my rest. Because his word says his beloved, he give him sweet rest. And I claim that. I fight for that. And I bind up any ruach that would try to come and attack that. Now, I woke up, I think that might have been Thursday, I'm not sure. I woke up, drifted off to sleep. Now in my room, I don't have a lot of visions and things like that. I am asking Yahuwah to help me in every area. But I saw it looked like it was like a skylight on the corner of my room, but it was extremely bright light that was shining through. So I was looking at that, and I was like, okay. But I could not tell whether, you know how the scripture said, whether in the body or out of the body. I couldn't tell if I was awake or if it was a dream. I still don't know. But in the midst of that, I felt like a presence on my bed. Like it was pressing and walking up, kind of coming up the bed and trying to, and it got on top of me. Tried to press, hold you down. If y'all have that type of experience, tried to hold me down. But I've encountered that before, so I know what to do to fight it. So I kind of just shook myself loose and began to come against it. But I immediately said, okay, I'm in another place. I'm in another place where I haven't conquered that one. And it's gotten access because I'm in a whole nother realm. So now I need to conquer this realm. Y'all see what I'm saying in that? It's no hiding under the bed and keep the lights on all night. I used to do that. I used to be very fearful of it. But you need to know, you got to eat and digest that word. It says, if you believe, and have you received since you believe? Have you received that gift of the Ruach HaKodesh that gives us that power to overcome it? It's to him that overcometh. Overcometh, ETH, you got to do it again and again and again. You got to keep overcoming. When you get battle fatigue, that means you're so tired, all this stuff keep coming at you. Before you start singing that I'm tired song, go eat some word. Go pray. That I believe in praying in the spirit because I know it edifies me. I know it strengthens me. Okay? And so I'm not saying, even when I encourage you all to pray in your tongue, pray in the Ruach. Pray, believing, knowing that the Most High is giving you a connection there. And I was explaining earlier, because I do understand there's some people who can pray in tongues and cuss you all the way out. Right? Will blaspheme. So it's not that it's the speaking in tongues that give you power, but that is where our edification is. So I encourage you all, if you have been given that gift, please exercise it. And if it has not come yet, please desire it. I'm encouraging you all. Ask Yahuwah to give you a greater desire. We need a greater desire for him because we have come into a real order. It's not a game. Priesthood is not a game. Priesthood is not for the faint. Priesthood is not for the weak.